History constantly tells us about our future. There is no need for a time machine. All we must do is pay attention to the past. Once we go back and look to past events, we can then compare them to our present day, which will then lead us to our glorious future.
We talk about that history repeats itself and we're supposed to learn from it. But how often are we really learning from it? I'll give you a clue. What time frame are we in again? End of days? The time of judgment? The time of harvest? Only the people who really have studied this and have seen how history repeats itself and changes themselves to make sure that they themselves do not repeat history are the ones who have a stronger chance of being saved and not falling into the grasp of Satan. Satan is the number one deceiver. The number one deceiver. You know, if you read the Bible, look at the prophecies. See how they're worded. And I'm not talking about the end of days prophecies. I'm talking about prophecies that have already been fulfilled in the past, such as prophecies that were mentioned in the Old Testament that came true in the Old Testament. Other prophecies from the Old Testament that talked about prophecies in the New Testament that have now come, or that have come true already in the past. Prophecies in the New Testament that were brought to followers of Christ, and how those prophecies came true. If we understand how those prophecies worked back then, we'll understand how prophecy will come true to a degree this day and age. Now, we won't obviously be perfect with this. The Father will be the one who will have to explain this to us as to how prophecy truly works. And of course, we'll have great insight when we have the time to speak and sit down and listen to Lord Rael and hear how these prophecies come about, how it works. But the thing is, we're being tested. This is the end of days. This is judgment period. It's up to us. He wants to see how we utilize history and the past information to get to where we are now, to understand and whether we're going to fall for deception or see through that deception and follow the Christ, and to not abandon God and his ways. When you take a look at some of the prophecies back then, look at Yeshua and his arrival. We read about all these, alleged prophecies that speak about him and his arrival. What he'll be called, what his name will mean, where he will be born, exactly how he will be born, through what line he will be born. Sound familiar? Should. Because it almost sounds like history is repeating itself. Because we hear about Lord Rael, and we hear about a meaning of a name, which also would help us get his name, but we wouldn't be able to get his name first because he's the only one who knows it. Approximately where he would return, how he would return, through what line he would return. Now, the difference is, this is the key difference. Back then we knew that Yeshua was there for salvation. He was there to teach. is a little different. So God isn't necessarily going to do everything 100% in the same path. He is going to want us to use critical thinking. But look at how society has programmed us. We're programmed like robots. We're not programmed to think on our own. And if we think on our own, well, geez, we're nuts.
Remember, throughout history, scientist after scientist, certified professional after professional, have proven each other wrong time and time again. This is why critical thinking, from our standpoint, is so important. We never should take anything at face value, whether it be from a certified professional or not.
See, I prefer interactive experiences. If you have any information, or if there's something that you want to present, or you found some really great information, send it my way. I would love to feature it in the video. This does not guarantee that it's going to make it in the video, but we need to all talk. We're a congregation. We need to come together and learn together.